I have a 2012 Ford Fusion and it needs front brakes. It's been a while since it's been changed out, so let me show you what you're going to need. On this one, you're going to need a 14mm socket or a 14mm wrench. You're going to need a 19mm or 3/4 inch socket, lug wrench to remove the lug so you can get the wheel off. And then other than that, a screwdriver and a rag, and pretty much that's what you need. I also have some caliper grease, so I'm going to grease things up. You might need a C-clamp to push the piston back, or you can have a brake caliper tool like I have. Either way works just fine. So let's get at it. I have the wheel turned so you can get a good look at it, so you can see where the brake caliper mounting bolts are. And that's the first thing we're going to take off. So it's going to be a 14mm wrench or socket. And just have to get it on there real good and give it a couple of hits. You might need to put a wrench on this one. You see this right here? There's a nut right here that you can use a 14mm on, or even a crescent wrench, vice grips if you need to hold that in place. And it looks like I'm going to need to because it's been a while since that's been moved. If you live in a really salty, corrosive environment, let's say up in the Rust Belt, then this may be a whole lot harder to do. But this, I got a pair of vice grips, and I'm just barely putting enough pressure on it just to hold it in place while I remove the brake caliper bolt on this side. And it's already loose, so I can get it with my fingers and pull it out. Yep, there it is. Now I'm going to move down to the bottom. Let's see what I'm doing. See, the bottom one, I didn't even have to use anything to hold that inner nut. Okay, sometimes you need to get a C-clamp and put some pressure on the piston to push it back a little bit. Let's see if we need to do that. Hopefully not. And the answer will be an absolute not. Okay, take this. There's your brake caliper piston. Let's go ahead and push that back so we don't have to deal with it later. So I have a brake caliper tool. And it's something that looks like this. Yours might look a little different. I would just put it in here and push that piston back. Or if all you have is a C-clamp, and let me show you how to do the C-clamp. Here I have is a really large C-clamp. I believe this one's, let's see, 6 inch. So I thought it was bigger than that. But all we'll do is just basically put this part, that part on here, and this part, it'll go just like this. Now you'll put an old brake pad here to push it back. But instead, I got this tool really cheap on Amazon, and I'm just gonna turn it, and it'll automatically push that way. Now, it might be a little hard at first. You got to push the fluid back, but as you really starting to crank on it, it'll start moving pretty good. Sometimes the piston will kind of get set in its ways right there. They don't move a whole lot. As the brake pad wears, then it goes further out. All right, almost there. And I just go till it just won't go any further. There. That's as far as it goes. See, now it's flush right back against here. And I'm just verifying that it's flush. If it's kind of cockeyed or anything like that, you might want to get a new brake caliper, actually. If it's, cockeyed or something, and it just didn't go in there right. Really, that's kind of extreme. You just have to make sure that this is flush. And I'm going to double check with that. I'm going to go right here and just tighten on it. Come on. All right, here we go. Yeah, as far as back as it will go. Okay. Now let's look at the brake pads themselves. This one still has quite a bit of meat on it. And what I mean by meat, well, let's do this. These just kind of hold the calipers together. Might need to save that in case yours doesn't come with any new hardware. Mine doesn't. So I'm just gonna lay it, recognize that this one goes down, that one goes up. So I'm just gonna lay them to the side. All right. And then this one is kind of thick, but then you notice that this one's kind of thin. And so that tells me that these slides are kind of sticking. So clean everything up and it should slide pretty good. You can tell right here where this one is just not really sliding that well. So I'm gonna pull that off, wipe the grease off and put some fresh brake caliper grease on there. This is gonna be a quick and dirty one. What I mean by that is I'm not replacing any of the hardware. The hardware still looks good. And so I'm basically just cleaning it up, putting new pads on, greasing everything and putting it back together. Nothing wrong with that. If that's what you have, that's what you have. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Here's my new pads. And as you can see for a reference, how much thicker. So that's the old one on the outside. Look how much thicker. A lot more braking material. So yeah, these were getting pretty low. I've seen worse, but they were getting pretty low. Now sometimes what I do, and I'm gonna do it here, is I'm gonna grease the sliding shims. These little things right here. Sometimes your new brake pad comes with them, sometimes they don't. So I'm just reusing these right here. Okay, so I'll just put a little bit on here. Try not to get any on the rotor itself. The brake pad will smear it where it needs to go. A little dab will do you, not a whole lot. And then the same with these. I'm just going to put a little bit on here. This is designed for these. And all you have to do is push it in till it pops. And I just run it back and forth and get it nice and lubed. Same thing with the bottom one. Ooh, needed some more on there. See, just enough to cover it. Don't have to goop it up like crazy, because if you put too much on there, it actually causes a problem. So just get it on there, lube it around, and good to go. So now all we really have to do is put the new pads on. Yep, some brake caliper. You just ask your auto parts store for it and they'll get it to you. The way I normally do it is I go up on the top, and if they're brand new shims, they're going to be a pain to get it in there. And then I go to the bottom and try to get it on here. And they're going to be snug, so you just got to kind of work with it. Maybe you have to pull it out a little bit and work. Sometimes the top doesn't work well for me, so I just go to the bottom. And then, where's my screwdriver? Right here. Have to pull the shim back, and then it goes in. So you just be patient with it, okay? Let's do it on the back. The back's a little harder because it's harder to see. Now I'm actually going to go reverse. I'm going to go at the bottom, then I'm going to get the top lined up. May have to use a screwdriver to pull the shim back and get it to work in there. And it's just going to be aggravating. Now, let me pull that back out. May have to mess with it a little bit. See, I can't really see what I'm doing here. Let me stick my head around. Okay, that one's in. Let me back, nope, out it came again. Get in there, you booger. It's just being, the new ones are so much worse. Okay, and then, ouch. Same with the bottom. And it's just gonna be a pain. Always hate doing the back side. Okay, oh, it went in. There. it's in. Just, you're gonna get aggravated. I just tell you that. Sometimes they go right in, sometimes they don't. It's just these shims are just there to hold it in the perfect position. And then, you know, sometimes you just gotta fool with it. So remember these U-clips, they kind of keep pressure on the brake pad, keeping it close together and also keeping it from, you know, wiggling loose. So slide it into these holes right here. Got a close-up of it? See that hole right there? It's one on each side. Just put the pin in there and on the other side, and it just kind of keeps it, well, it actually causes it to spring back some. Oh, and it came out of the slot. Let me take this off. Let's do it again. Where's my screwdriver? Okay, that's not going to be as fun. Okay, I put the springs in. Now, you're going to have to keep some pressure on here because these are kind of pulling it out at the same time. So as you get this, the brake caliper piston, the piston back on here, you're going to want to keep it, some pressure on it. An extra set of hands is so helpful. Okay, so here we go. Slide it on the pin that you greased up. Okay, good. It's not going to slide out now. And these are the pins I'm talking about. You got these ears on here where the bolts go through. So you just want to slide it right on there. Presto. Okay, now your bolts. Put them back in. Go with the top or the bottom, doesn't matter. You're going to have to wiggle the caliper around and just to where it starts to bite in. Okay, that one's going in. And then the second one. And like I said, be ready to wiggle this around to where you get a good bite on that bolt. Might even want to pull that little sliding pin out. Is it going in? Nope. It's just going to be an aggravation. Okay. Come on, bite you. There we go. It finally took. Just took getting it just right. And now all we do is take our socket or our wrench and make it tight. Now, some people go, well, that's, you know, quite a bit of work. It really isn't. And you can save yourself a whole lot of money. And I'll show you why. Now, you can hold this down or you can get a wrench. Normally, just finger pressure on this holds that inner nut in, and then you just tighten down. Once you got that tight, just give it some and then a little more, and that's good enough. And the same with this one. So these brake pads, got them at AutoZone. They were ceramic, so they're good. Now they come with all the hardware, but I figured this hardware would have been just fine. So the brake pads themselves were like $54, which to me is high because I used to buy them way cheaper than that. But they're a good set of pads. $54, and just a little bit of time it took me to do this. And since I'm doing this on camera, it's taking me longer. If I didn't have the camera, I can do this so much quicker. So just some time. Now, normally, you're going to spend maybe a couple of hundred to take it to a shop and do the same thing. So that's all there is to it. Some will call this a pad slap. Now listen, the rotor's fine. There's no grooving, I mean, almost nothing at all. All I did was just reuse what was mainly here. It was all in good shape, and everything looks fine, seriously. So I greased up the pins, so the outer one that was kind of wearing more than the inner, that'll go away. So all of that to be said, it's cost me like $54 for these pads. And just a few minutes that it took me to do this. You can do this, all right? Make sure you jack up your vehicle. Don't just use a jack, use a safety jack to keep the vehicle up, and then go ahead and do this. You can do this, it's not that bad. You can save yourself a lot of money and be better off in the long run. Mailman Mechanic. Oh, hold on, forgot one thing. before you go taking off on this thing, go ahead and before you put it in, and crank it up, and before you put it in drive or reverse, go ahead and hit the brake a few times. You're going to feel it spongy at first, and then you'll feel it firm up. That's perfectly normal. It's the pistons are being pushed back to squeeze the pads. Once that happens, go ahead and take it for a drive. I say drive normal. Some people say you got to set the brakes in. Listen, just drive. But do not be surprised if you smell like a burning smell, a hot smell, a weird smell coming from. That's fine, okay? That's just the brakes breaking themselves in. The new smell will go away. Mailman Mechanic, see you at the mailbox.